already suspectable.
What's good, y'all? I'm here with my bro, Vince Money Coach, in the building. He's in DC, so he hollered at me. And you'll be in DC.
Correct, yeah. April 27th. Be on the lookout for that. We're gonna have the tickets up and ready. Y'all get ready. It's gonna be a vibe. It's gonna be really transformative for a lot of people. So make sure that you tap in with that for sure.
What's the you have the what's to expect at that event?
Oh man, so this is a live workshop. So for those that ever been to any of my classes, y'all know how I teach. You know, it's real interactive. This is interactive times 100, times 1,000, really. So what I have for y'all is a workbook. Everybody that comes, there will be a workbook available for you to go through and actually complete the actual workshop. So what it is it's taking you through the process of creating a money management system. So
Yeah.
a lot of people have a problem with really don't understand money management, I think. So me being able to help them create a plan basically for themselves and help them see and reveal all the numbers and create clarity for themselves, that's what people need. And so I'm providing it for y'all at this event. It's going to be well-rounded. You're going to get everything. It's going to answer all your questions. I'm pretty sure you're going to learn some stuff. It's going to be a lot of mind-blowing things, I know, because there's a lot of stuff in this book, in this workbook, in the workshop that you're not going to find online in Google or none of that stuff. So this is coming from my experience, helping clients, helping people through my career, and it's going to be amazing. Don't miss it, please.
Grab your tickets. Grab your tickets. And I appreciate you checking in with me too while you're in town. So definitely, gonna support that. You all support it too. Speaking of money management, like why is money management? You all that didn't watch the first episode that we had with Vince, check it out because we kind of covered a whole lot. And this will be more of like a conversation. But why is money management important? Budgeting.
So let me stop you there. See, this is that's one of the biggest misconceptions.
Yeah.
Right. So a lot of people associate budgeting and money management as the same thing. They're not. They're not. So I ask this question all the time. I'm always like, so put a 1 in the chat or whatever whenever I go live. Hey, how many of y'all think or thought that budgeting and money management was the same? And I get a whole bunch of ones. Everybody's like, no, it's the same, it's the same, the same. Let me break it down for you.
Yeah, that's interesting.
Because a budget is just the plan, right? The budget is you just becoming aware, you knowing where your numbers are, you knowing how much you're going to save, where you're going to put it, all that stuff. Money management is the system, the tools, the rules, the things that you put in place to help you stick to that plan.
Yeah, hit the
Got
bomb.
to.
Yeah. Okay. So it's more so action.
Yes.
Is the money management where
It's
the budget.
It's the execution. The budget. Everybody that's watching this right now or listening to this, you probably at one point wrote down a budget. At some way, form or another, either in your phone, you probably wrote down all your bills, your due dates, and all that stuff.
Yeah.
Or you wrote it down on a piece of paper, or you did an Excel spreadsheet. Right, we all do that. We all take that step. The step that's missing is the money management side.
Facts. Yeah.
How are we going to stick to this plan?
Facts.
Right. What are the rules that we stick it to? Are we going to save 10% of our paycheck every time we get it? Right. Are we going to have things automated so that way we're not manually saving and investing?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
What if you got a little bit more cash flow than normal? What happens then? Right?
Yeah.
What if you get a bonus? What happens then? What happens to the money then?
Yeah. Yeah.
So a lot of us, we budget, but we don't have the plan for what we're going to do with the money when we get it. Or if money comes in, or if money goes out, like what happens then? How are we going to manage that point? What do we have in place to make sure that even though we've lost some income, that we can still stay on our feet, still have that stability. That's the money management side.
Got you. And you probably already straightened me out the last last episode, but that's good for even bigger than money. That's everything.
Oh, yeah.
The execution of your plan is the most important piece.
For sure.
You got to have a plan. You need a plan. And you shouldn't plan by yourself. So you need to find a mentor and a coach that can help you, give you the
That's
plan.
a fact.
But all you could do is give them the plan. The execution they gotta own on their own, right?
Yep.
So that's the bar. So yeah, money management is not budgeting. Budgeting and creating a plan and being aware is the first step.
That's it.
If you have a problem, the first step is to admit that you have one and being aware of it. But awareness alone won't get you to the goal. You got to execute.
Right.
That's what's up.
Yeah, so that's the piece. And some people don't even get to that part. Some people don't even get to the budgeting part.
Yeah.
Just out of just fear or emotion or society or whatever the case may be, pride.
Mm-hmm. Or
know?
some don't even want to know.
Yeah, true.
Some know they bleeding out, and it's like, I don't want to stress about it, so I don't
Right.
even want to know. It's
I'd
like
rather not.
ignorance.
Yeah.
Ignorance to the law doesn't mean that you're not going to get affected by it. So some of that is ignorance as well.
Yeah.
It's like I know I'm behind. But you said you dropped the bar the last episode, and we won't keep referencing that. We're gonna move on and have a conversation. But you said a budget is not a restriction.
Yeah.
It's permission.
Right.
So break that down for us.
Yeah. So again, this goes back to why we never even start. A lot of people just associate a lot of negativity when it comes to anything financial. And it's not our fault. I know a lot of us, especially those that's watching this, looking at this, we grew up in families where we don't talk about money.
Facts.
We grew up in families where you don't ask how the bills get paid. You don't talk about, you don't ask how much somebody made. You don't ask how much daddy made, granddaddy made. You don't ask them questions.
Facts.
In our family. So it's tough. It's hard to understand, okay, where to start or what to do or what you should be doing.
Mm-hmm.
So
That's a fact.
we don't know where to start. And then so we don't start. And because of that negative connotation around it, we never even get to it, or we think it's something that's tedious or something that's going to reveal too much, or we have all this negative things around budgeting that we never even get to it. So that's what I found. Just so many people just think of it as something that's negative.
Yeah.
And so, of course, when you have that mindset, that's what it's going to be.
Yeah, that's a fact. That's a fact. And to your point, it's like when we heard about money, if we heard about it, it was in a negative way, like an overwhelming.
Exactly.
Like, we don't got it. Like, we can't afford that.
Exactly.
And it was almost like money was like against us.
Mm-hmm.
But if there was never a budget or a lack of awareness, then there wasn't an opportunity to flip it and change it, so to show and support that it could be for us.
Exactly.
No matter how much it is. So bringing, I just dropped a little clip or episode, I guess, for me and my daughter. We broke down the basics of budgeting. You saw
Right.
it?
Yeah, I saw it. That was good, man. That was good. I love that. I love seeing the kids, like that representation of the kids getting it, because it's something that, like we were just talking about, we weren't brought up with it, but if you can introduce it to your children, you see, like in that video, you see the result of that.
Yeah.
You see how much is going to change for her and her life just from that small conversation.
Yeah. I mean,
And how much that's going to be so beneficial for her. It's crazy.
well, we both believers too, right? So
Yeah.
train up a child in the way they should go.
Exactly.
And, child should lead them. It's like all of that, really, the fundamentals of budgeting, money management, it's all just core fundamentals. It's very simple. But a lot of times we make it complicated, or maybe somebody's jumping in and they want to learn about it, and they're trying to jump in like to stocks and all kinds of like fancy stuff without like just know how much money you have, if you even have money to go into that first. Skipping steps. Steps are important. So like those fundamentals that me and my daughter talked about were I feel like if you had a child that can count from 1 to 10, you could talk to them about money.
Yeah.
in that range, and about compound money.
Yeah.
Before going into compound interest, right? But they all are connected.
They get it.
They get it because if you can count to 5 or to 10, and then you say this week, if you get 5 and it splits up 3 ways. So it's kind of it's like layers to it, right? Because it was partly teaching her that $5 is a lot. And that's one of the core messages that you tell people. Forget the million billionaires that you always hear about. Your money could stretch if you know what's going on and happening to it.
Exactly.
And you will better curve certain stuff if you know why you're curving it, because it's stacking something.
Exactly.
So that my daughter learned that firsthand. She went in the store first week. She got $5, right? 3 was for spend, 1 was for savings, and 1 was for give. And she went in the store and she went to the Hot Wheels section, all that stuff. We went to Dollar Tree, which is nothing's in there. Is $1. So that changed up since what I remember.
Right. It's $1.25 now.
Yeah, but my wife was telling me that I was getting it wrong. I got it wrong on the last. It was Dollar General. Dollar Tree and Dollar General are different. One of them, something.
They are different. They are different.
So
I don't know what the difference is either.
One of them are like
different.
they stick to $1 around there. The other one is like might as well be Safeway or something like that.
I think that's Dollar Tree. Dollar Tree is the one that sticks. Dollar Tree is I think $1.25. Dollar General is more so. Yeah, they'll get you. It's like $5. It's really like a $5 below. I'm
gonna need Dollar General. Is it Dollar General? They need to change that name up, man. $5 General or something, because y'all, I wouldn't have went in there if I had known it was $5 General. I thought it was $1. So anyway, my daughter, we go in there. She has $3 for her spend.
Yep.
And she realizes quickly everything in there is $6, $8. She can't get nothing, so she ended up buying a bag of chips for 2 for $1.
Yeah.
1 for her and 1 for her sister. And she ended up feeling good about it. But if you spend as soon as you get it and you don't have awareness or patience, then that $3, you always feel pinched or restricted to options. You can feel like everybody else got options and all of these stuff, and I can't get it. And I feel like that's kind of our upbringing.
Yeah.
There's no awareness of budget. I won't say there's no patience, because there's different dynamics that play into that stuff. But if without the awareness and the knowledge about, like, if I just wait, or if I say no to buying this or spending all 3 of these dollars on these chips right now, then I'm going to be limited to chips every week. But if I say,
that's fire.
Let me not spend that, then next week I have 6. And I can now get the $6 worth of stuff. Or what happened with my daughter is we actually forgot to pay her out a couple weeks.
Oh, okay.
So on the camera.
So she had back pay, right?
Yeah, she had back pay. She had back pay. So on camera we were catching her up. And I'm like, man, I didn't realize I owe her this much. So I'm counting her up. And just from her waiting and not even realizing that much time elapsed, she's like, I got $21.
Yeah.
Now she can go crazy in the store if she wanted to. She still has her savings that she does not need to think about. And that's kind of the training as well, is don't think about your savings as you spend. Or if you forget about it again, you can have double. Talk about systems, because that's what you talk about as well. There's fundamentals, but then there's systems that can benefit you so that you can set it, forget it, and end up. What's the value of systems?
No, that's the main part of a money management system. Like, you got to have systems in place to make sure that you are actually sticking to and reaching the goals. So let me backtrack real quick, because you said something about if you just get a bag of chips every time, that's really all you're gonna be able to get, right? Without waiting, without the delayed gratification. That's so good, bro, because it's like, it's the same thing in life. You know, we kind of put ourselves in these situations with the lack of knowledge and the lack of patience and the lack of delayed gratification.
Yeah.
So instead of going and getting the thing that we really want, we only can get what we can get because that's what we want.
Mm-hmm.
And we limit ourselves every time.
Limited ourselves.
Every time.
Yeah.
When all it took was a little patience. All it took was, in real life, 6 months, 12 months, get on your feet, get good. Mm-hmm. Then you can really start enjoying your money. Mm-hmm. You can really go and get, what you really want, that toy that you really want,
Facts.
quote unquote.
Facts.
Right? So it's just like, what are you willing to sacrifice? And then not only that, but before that, what is it that you want?
Knowing what's the goal up
What
front.
is the actual goal?
Because if you don't know that,
you always gonna get the bag of chips.
Ooh. Yeah, that's good. That's good. And we are if we limit ourselves and we don't know what we want, then we are in control. But a lot of times, if we're not aware and we don't know what we want, we don't know where the money's going or what's coming in or what's going on,
Yeah.
then we don't have control. And a lot of times, I think we fall into that we can't or we don't, like it's on us, not realizing like we actually had the control. We just not using it.
Yeah. My brother says something like that. Last time I was home, he was like, people are surprised at how much control they actually have.
Facts.
And I sat there and I thought about it. I'm like, yo, that's a bar.
That's a bar for sure.
That's a bar. Like, people are surprised at how much control they actually have.
What's your brother name?
Notorious.
Notorious. Shout out. Yeah, that is a bar for sure. We got it. But
that's a bar. I'm like, yo,
it's
you
like,
hit that on the head. But that's absolutely right.
Facts.
So, back to the systems part. Yeah. That's the control that you give yourself, right? The awareness that you create from budgeting or from having a plan is going to allow you to then have the control over your money. And that control is going to, you put systems in place to maintain that control. So as far as the money management system, really it's just about kind of like what you did. Hey, I got $5, $3 is going to what? Savings, get $1 to spend and $1 to give. Mm-hmm. That's a perfect system. Mm-hmm. Now it's about setting up a system or setting up these systems in place to make it happen. So for example, in that case, every $5 you get, you're taking, 60% of your money and you saving it off the top, off rip. So literally you could set that up with your bank account. I know a lot of people don't know that there's tools in your bank account that you can use to help you create systems. You'll be surprised how many people I'm walking through or I'm helping or I'm telling, hey, set up automatic transfers. What is an automatic transfer? Or how do I do that? I'm like, dang, okay.
Yeah.
So it's a real thing. So a lot of people don't know.
Talk about it.
But
people don't know it. Let's talk about automatic transfers. I mean, it sounds self-explanatory, but what is it?
It does, but
break it down for us. What is it?
So in most bank accounts, and I'm going to say this, if your bank does not have this, then you might need a new bank. But most bank accounts nowadays, they offer what's called automatic transfers. So you can set up a transfer and schedule it. So if you know that every time you get paid, you want to save a certain amount of money or a certain percentage of your money, then you can set it up that way. You can set it up to say, hey, I want to save $50 every time I get paid. And you set up those dates in your bank account. So that's, again, in order to do that, you have to have the awareness in order to set that plan up, in order to create that.
And I mean, just the quick math, right? If you set $50, everybody spends $50 in no time.
Easily.
$50 per pay period is twice a month, right? But it's really actually 13 months at the end of the year.
Yeah.
So that's $1,300 just from $50 a pay period.
Just from 50.
Just from 50. So if you set up the automatic transfer, it's gone. It's out of your...
Out of sight,
that's
out of
kind
mind.
of the real game right there.
Yeah.
Because I had that, and I got that from a young age.
Yeah.
Not to mention if you set the automatic transfer to like a brokerage account and you're investing that money, that $1,300 could be crazy depending on what
Yeah.
you invested in and how you invested.
Yeah.
But the automatic transfers, the importance there is to get it out the way. For
Mm-hmm.
those of y'all who watched the episode I did with my daughter, we're talking about cash right now, but I told her quickly, like, you don't really want to keep cash. Because if you're holding it, it's in your face, for one, so you know you have it.
Yeah.
For two, it's dirty, right? That's for her, right? I don't really care about dirty
for
cash. I'll hold dirty cash. But for three, it's really the temptation of it in front of you. But then also, if you're not investing it, that's what the bank is doing with your money.
Exactly. That's what they're doing.
So if you're not investing it, you're not making as much as you can, and the value is depreciated. So it's best
Quickly.
to put it in. But the automation is critical.
Yeah.
I mean, and here's the thing: if your bank doesn't do it, and you love your bank, do it yourself. Open up an account with another bank. Send that money from your check directly to that account.
Yep.
I think most importantly, you got to do an IRA. Like, get a brokerage account, send it to an IRA,
Basics.
because then you could. It's just like a bank account, really.
Mm-hmm.
And when it's in that pot, you could still get it back if you need it, but then you can also invest it. But that's another way to do it if your bank doesn't offer it. But if your bank doesn't offer it, yeah, you should probably find another bank.
Yeah, you should. That's not a good bank.
That's like fundamental.
Yeah.
For
They should definitely have that.
2024. If they're not doing that, then they definitely want your money. They're like
They definitely do big time fees for overdrafts and all that.
Yeah.
And that's not what you want anyway.
Nah.
You don't want to. Let me give y'all some tips on that. You don't want a bank that's going to charge you overdraft fees, like big overdraft fees. You shouldn't be getting overdrafted anyway, but you don't want that. You don't want banks that's making you have $500 minimum in your accounts, charging you for stuff like that. You don't want that. If your bank doesn't have an app yet in 2024, you probably don't want that bank. And I'm just talking about like your regular bank. We ain't even get to high yield savings accounts, but it's pretty much the same thing across the board for both regular, like your main bank account where you get your check from, and then also, any savings that you want to do as far as outside of that, which is part of the system and structure of your money management system too, which is what I'm gonna talk about in the workshop. So plug that in real quick.
Good plug. But real quick there, why it's so flagrant, if your bank charges you fees, the number that we see in our account is not cash.
No.
It's a number that they have your money and they're investing it. And they are making money on the money. So if they're charging you a fee for having under a certain threshold, they're getting that plus the money that they're using from your money to invest.
Ain't nothing free.
So it's a double.
They not giving you interest. They're not paying you whatever they paying you.
Yeah.
Most of the time it's like 0.4%, 0.04%. My bad,
crazy.
Something like that. But they're not. Yeah, if they're willing to pay you that, then you know that they're making 100 times that, 10 at least minimum 10 times that
Easy
on your money, because they definitely invest in it. They're doing what you could be doing with your money. Instead, you just got it in the bank, just sitting there, not growing, losing. Matter of fact, losing value due to inflation. So
Facts.
Inflation, in case y'all don't know, is the cost of everything going up every year. So that's on average 2 to 3%. So that means any money that you got sitting in savings right now is losing 2 to 3% per year every year. So it's a lot of people that I've met or that I've coached this year, just this year, thousands of dollars in their regular savings account. That
yeah,
5, almost 6 figures in their savings account. that they're losing 3% value on every single year.
And by the way,
go ahead.
If you have cash in person, you're losing more.
Oh yeah, you losing even more.
Even more. So that's a reason not to have cash. I mean, you can have a stash.
You definitely want a stash,
but you don't want to have a heavy amount of cash.
Not
but
too
why
much.
is it though? So I think it's related to what we started with. How upbringing is, like growing up, it was about saving.
Yeah.
It wasn't even investing. Wasn't even a word.
Yeah,
it was
I never heard investing until I got older, bro.
Facts. And I think that's part of that dynamic as well, is that some of us been taught save, have that cushion.
Mm-hmm.
But the opportunity is missed with 6 figures in the savings that you saying some people have.
Mm-hmm.
how much money could that make in an investment account? That could be 10x.
Not even that. If let me do small numbers. So 10,000. Let's say they had 10,000 in just a high yield savings. Not even investing yet. You earn 5%. That's what's that? 500 a year, just passively from that alone.
Yeah.
At that bank, you probably making a cent. You probably making $1 maybe in that year.
Yeah.
Versus 500. That's just a high yield savings account.
Yeah.
That's just with $10,000.
Facts.
You do that 5 more times. That's $2,500 a year. That's a vacation for a lot of people.
Facts.
That's money that's just sitting in a high yield savings account. So
yeah,
it's just again, we got to have the awareness and the education too that comes along with it. Because I found this out recently. Only 18% of people have a high yield savings account or really know what that is.
And that's a really good point because we often say invest, right? But you can actually have a savings that is high yield, and what you're essentially getting is a piece more of the investment, the money that they using and making off of your money. You're getting a little bit more than that in that. Exactly. So if you still aren't 100% comfortable in jumping into investing, you could save the right way with the right account. Yes. And make way more than if you just save the traditional way, just putting it away. Because we're competing with inflation as well. Yeah. So if inflation is going at 2-3%, 4% a year, I mean even more sometimes, and your interest rate, you're getting 1% or less. Exactly. Then your money is being decreased. Right. So that's the urgency.
Yeah, it's not valuable. You lose value. Facts. $10,000 a year under your mattress is worth $9,700 the next year. You lose $300 off rip.
That's crazy. Say that again, because that number. I mean, think about that. That's why cash. That's why low savings, interest savings is flagrant. Right. Is because if you have 10,000, we're talking about percentages. Inflation is 2-3%. So if you're saying 10,000. 3% the next year, you're 9,700. The next year, you're
like 94.
Thank you.
94,
91. Yeah, you're going back with just the same money there that's sitting, and you got to put the money in a spot where it works for you.
And y'all see that too. Like you see, it's not like. Wow. Y'all see it every day when you go to the grocery store.
Yeah, and it's
the gallon of milk, the eggs, $8 now. Facts. You can't buy the same $10 that you used to use to buy 4 cartons of eggs. You can only buy 1. Facts. Crazy.
Facts.
That's inflation, y'all, in real life. So if you think we just making up numbers, this is real. This is really what happened. So
I was just triggered by that eggs comment.
Yeah, the eggs
because the eggs is crazy. And then my wife, Easter's coming up again.
Oh yeah,
she be with the kids. We died. I love you, boo.
Gotta throw that in there. I love you. Before
she be boiling them the organics. Oh man. And then dyeing them. And I'm like, that's the organics.
Oh man,
we crack all of them. That's my rule. All right, we gonna dye them. We gonna all of that, but we gonna eat them.
We gonna eat too. Every single one
because we spent $8. But yeah, inflation is crazy.
Yeah, it's crazy. Yeah. But hey. We not saying you shouldn't have savings. Yeah. Right? Everybody should have savings. Facts. Everybody should have immediate access.
Don't save it all.
Oh yeah, don't save all your money.
Don't save it all. I think you don't save it all.
Don't save it all.
Put that on a put that on a shirt.
Don't save it all. Nah. Yeah, that's a good idea. Yeah, I'm actually
that would be dope, bro.
I got some merch stuff coming up too.
Because then that pokes your curiosity. Like, don't save it all. Because it's true. Yeah. We gotta combat our upbringing.
The traditional
upbringing is save.
Yeah, the old way of learning, the old things that we learned. Yeah, we definitely got to break that.
And that's what we heard growing up. Yeah. Save. Almost got beat into us.
Yeah,
we're like
it definitely did.
So people saving 6 figures ain't crazy because like we came from that generation of save. So we almost feel like we saving as a defense mechanism.
It is.
And it's good to have a savings as a defense mechanism, but then it could be to a fault if you don't take a portion of that and invest it. Like I think it's like 6 months worth of your monthly expenses you should have in savings.
Mm-hmm.
Everything else should get invested or something like that.
Yeah, that's my method. That's what I teach. 6 to 12 months, and really that really the 12 months is dependent on you. So I know some people just feel more secure with more money saved.
Yeah.
So if you feel more secure like that, then yeah, definitely have 6 to 12 months, but no more than 12.
Mm-hmm.
No more than 12. At that point, you definitely need to be investing, maximizing your investment accounts, maximize your Roth IRA.
Facts.
Like definitely, because you don't want to have too much. You don't want to save too much money. I'm telling you. We just talked about it. With inflation, like yeah, cash is handy. Cash will help people feel secure and stable. Mm-hmm. But now, once you build up the cash, once you build up the reserve, once you build up that stability, now it's time to not even take risk, but put your money to work.
Facts.
You know, money don't sleep, money don't get tired, money don't call off work, money don't catch attitudes.
Facts.
Money work.
Money works.
Money do what you tell it to do.
And we all work hard.
Yes.
Put your money to work too.
We work hard for it. Put it to work.
Put it to work. That's a fact. And that's a hack. That's a fact and a hack. That if you put your money to work, then you can enjoy the fruits of its labor.
Right. I just put an idea in my head.
Yeah.
The more money that you put to work, the less you have to.
Ooh, that's another bar. That can be on the hat.
The more money that you put to work, the less you have to. Remember that. I need y'all to remember that for real.
Yeah.
Dang, we got look.
Yeah, man. The thing is, it's just strategy too.
Mm-hmm.
And if you, to your point earlier, if you know your goal, then you can be strategic to get to the goal.
How to get there.
But you can't really be strategic if you don't know what you're going for.
Mm-hmm.
So even down to like what kind of life you want to live, what kind of car you want to have, what all of that stuff matters, because then you can map it out into what it means to get there from a financial standpoint. And it doesn't always mean, I think another thing, traditionally we think like to get that you hear about it all the time, 6-figure job. Oh, I needed 6 figures. It's like you can do it that way and work and get in that and do it that way. Or you can be strategic and invest early or save more and spend less than you make considerably and live within your means and get there just as quick.
Yep.
Or quicker than somebody who's 6 figures but spending it all.
Exactly.
So it's just strategy, and you got to know what your goal is, but then you also can learn some of these tips that you're going to have at your workshop.
Yep.
So if you want to know more about what those tips are and what those fundamentals are, you got to check out the workshop.
Exactly. We're going to be revealing what it is, like what exactly you should be aiming for at each level when it comes to budgeting, money management, saving, getting rid of debt, credit, investing, life insurance, all of that stuff, y'all. So it's like, it's a full, like we're literally building your full financial house in this workshop. So you're going to leave knowing exactly, okay, this is what I need to be doing. This is my setup. Like by the end of the workshop, you will have exactly what you need to be saving, how much you should be saving, what's going to be going where. You want to come to this workshop, y'all. I'm just saying, man.
Gotta come to the workshop.
Too many people that don't know, that's out here lost, no direction.
Mm-hmm.
I'm giving you the direction. I'm giving you a GPS.
You gotta create it on your own.
Yeah, you're gonna come lost, you're gonna leave found.
That's just like that.
For real.
That's not my coin. It's still in that. But also, we talking about a lot of times, it's hard to get started.
Yeah.
When you feel defeated. And I can identify, we can all identify, because separate from money, right? So we're talking about money right now, but budgeting and management is applicable to a lot of stuff. Time is probably the most valuable thing that we all have, that we take for granted.
I agree.
And
100%.
if you budget your time and then you practice time management and you budget your money and you practice money management, then you can understand and you can break down and segment off your day and get stuff done, just like break down, segment off your money. How is it I'm losing all of this time or money because I didn't realize that me scrolling was X hours per day. But if I realize that, then I can control how much of that I do and apply 2 of those 8 hours per day in this direction to get to this goal. If I didn't realize I was spending, how am I spending? Matter of fact, this is a true story. I had one of my cousins, won't call their name out, won't even say their sex, but they hit me up and they was like, yo, I'm spending I noticed I spent like $1,500 a week on food, eating out. I'm like, bro, you're rich.
Right.
You may not feel like it, but
You're
with
rich.
that much, if you just say, go to the grocery store and you're going to make a sandwich for a week. Or if you still want to eat out, you just don't, because I don't know what you got to be eating to spend that kind of money per week.
$6K a month.
That's crazy. So
On
you already got it to the month.
Look, I do this every day, y'all. I get the numbers and I already break it down. But yeah, that's crazy.
$6K, that's crazy.
You're rich. You're rich.
So
if you just take one of them weekends and chill, you would be better off than 99.9% of people if you just invest one of them weekends. Just take a weekend to invest.
I mean, that's $72,000 a year. I mean, that's crazy. I didn't even think about it in a month to year.
Take a weekend to invest. You'll be good.
And I told them, I was like, yo, if you just eat out and maybe, I don't know, Chipotle instead of Ruth Chris, I don't know where you eating out, but like, even if you can enjoy some of the things that you enjoy and feel good about enjoying it and save 1,000 of that 1,500 a week, 4,000 a year. That's a ton of money. So it's like when we break down the core stuff, it's important to be aware because if you're aware, then you kind of know what to adjust. And then you know where you can find some of those hacks or those strategies to apply them to get you on that fast track. But if you don't know, or if you don't want to know, or if you're scared to know, then you will never know. And then you'll never apply those. And then you won't reap those benefits from knowing.
You'll never know. That's good. But that's why you got to be around the right people, like what we was talking about earlier.
Yeah, let's talk about that.
You got to have people like voices, figures, leaders. You know, you want to be, you need people around that's going to be that voice in your head, you know, whenever you are doing these things. That's at the top of your mind. You know, I know some of my clients, I'm the first person they think about whenever they go to spend or something like that.
Yeah.
They hear my voice, you know. So you got to get in the room. You got to be around people. You got to have friends. You got to associate yourself with people that want to see you win and want to see you do better.
Facts.
Right? So that's big too.
Yeah, that's huge. I mean, going deep into what we talked about. So more along the lines like your network is your net worth, right? We always heard that. And I'll just be playing about what I talked about, right? I'll cancel me. I got like 300 followers. This is my take, okay? This ain't your take. But influencers, right? You hear that all the time.
Yeah.
Influencers, right? But there truly are influencers. There's good and there's not so good, right? Let's just say not so good. So if you follow a lot of not so good and people that are encouraging you to live that high life, spending money, flashy, or just talking about nothing,
right?
Then that's what you're giving your attention to. And it's different today because it's not like I sound like I'm an old man, But like back in my day,
Hey, hey, anytime you use back in my day
Right,
or
we're
back
old.
in the day,
yeah, it's old. It's a wrap.
you feel old
Yeah,
automatically.
it's a wrap. But back in my day, it was like the people you hang around. Watch who you grow up with. You know, that's what my parents, my mom used to say. Watch who you grow up with and who you hang around. It says a lot about you. Now, people are on their phone. People spend time on social media. And if you spend a lot of time on there and you follow a lot of crazy, like non-valuable stuff, then that's your network. That's your influence. They're influencing you one way or the other. And that's why marketing, all these ad dollars are going into it, because they know that if they put it behind an influencer that's showing you some stuff, then that's going to influence you to spend. Or so you have a challenge
Every day.
because you are giving somebody some like some fundamental stuff that makes sense, that'll help them now, but you're competing with a lot of like, forget tomorrow. Like, you don't know if you're going to see tomorrow. Spend it all right now. Oh shoot, tomorrow you're depressed because you spent it all yesterday.
Yeah.
Don't worry about it. You know what I mean? But it's almost subliminally is releasing control. Because if they say don't worry, essentially, I'm not saying it's exactly what they say, but paraphrasing kind of the tone in the room is like, if you don't care or worry about tomorrow, or if this is kind of how it gets shown. This new red big Mario boots, you gotta have it. Cause it's the trend. If you aren't on it, you're going, and then you feel pressure to like, I got 300 and I should probably save it. Or at the bottom of all these checkouts now, including on shopalreadysuccessful.com, we're going to talk about that in a second, there is pay later.
Yep.
And that's a billionaire company. That's $1 billion company. So pay later. Even if you don't have it right now, you can give us back the money later.
Exactly.
Don't worry about our interest that we're going to put on.
One of the fastest growing companies, by the way.
Yeah. So
that's fairly new. That's like new in the financial industry.
And they know what we're talking about. That's how they came up, right? Because they know, like, there's certain people that we want to spend their money that got that 300. We want them to focus it on this Mario boot.
FOMO.
And if they don't have the Mario boot, they're behind. So then you have a decision with these influencers that's showing you these Mario boots. Like, I should just get it. And then most times we do. But now that the $1 billion company about pay later, it's like, even if you don't have it, if you have 50 of it, I'll front you the rest.
It's crazy.
And those are the craziest ones. It's just like buying a car or anything else. It's not really the price tag. It's what the interest rate is. Because the interest rate is going to determine how much you end up paying. And salute to the business model, because it's a need and it's understanding the environment and climate we in. And it's the opportunity to front people and get the money back plus more. But at the same time, that's what you compete against. Is you're competing against people that's saying, never mind all of that stuff. Get it right now. Don't save it. But then when you do that and you don't have it, then you can never, you're limited to the bag of chips that we talked about.
Exactly. Limited to the bag of chips every time. Like, it's really sad, honestly, just to see it. But the truth of the matter is, yes, I'm competing. And I'm gonna say this to the camera. Right. Yes, I'm competing with stuff like that. But we see at the end of the day what lasts and what don't last. How many people you see wearing them red boots now?
Facts.
What I'm teaching and what I'm giving you, the game that I'm giving you is gonna last for a lifetime. Matter of fact, for generations, if you teach to your kids like you doing.
Facts.
Right? Those red boots gonna be here today, going tomorrow. Buy now, pay later. And they here now, going later. So think about that whenever you check out with a firm or the buy now, pay later type of things.
Yeah.
All right, it's here right now, but later, are you really gonna want it?
Yeah.
Do you like? Was it really worth it later?
And it's crazy to your point.
And I'm not. And let me say this. Then I got you. But I'm not saying like that's a bad thing. If you know, like if you're good with managing money, that could be a good thing for you, right? It could be an opportunity for you if it's something that, you know, some of these things, courses, investments, they let you do that. But if it's something that, of course, but that's a different topic though. That's something different. That's an asset versus just like being a consumer. But you know, if you're using it and you are able to like pay it back without having to pay the interest, and that's different.
Yeah.
But like if you smart with it, yeah. But if you just got 100 of firms and Klarnas and afterpays, loans that you really paying back, it's a problem. It's an issue.
Yeah. But to that point, because it's like, well, one, the red boots. I know a couple people with them. Sorry, that was a huge mistake. Like, anybody wearing those now, and that's the problem with chasing the fads.
Yeah,
is because it's hot, and then the next day it's not.
It's not.
And then you're stuck with a expensive Mario boot.
Now it's a costume. Now you wear it once a year around Halloween.
Right. Now you can only be Mario or Luigi, you know, and that's not what you spent $500 for.
Exactly.
Right? And then that $500 could have been like $1,500 after 2 years of investing.
Right.
So just don't follow the fads. But to your point, though, you know, there is ways, and check out the last episode, there's ways to use your credit card. There's ways to use your, you know, these transactions to benefit you. You just got to know certain dates and when to pay them, and then you can actually get free vacations. I saw you posted up a couple different spots.
Oh yeah.
And offer your credit card payments off of points.
All off of points. 100% off of points, y'all.
But don't rush to that, because that's the problem too. Is that people new to like skipping steps. And dodging the fundamentals, want to know like how they can earn points. Like,
it don't work like that.
Yeah,
it don't work like that. You don't just get a card and then just go swipe happy.
Nope. Because
and then you get points.
Yep. Because if you don't have that discipline, guess what? You're gonna put yourself in a deep hole. Because I've seen that before too. Like, oh yeah, I'm gonna just use my credit card, but you forgot to pay, and now you're spending more than you normally did. And
now your points is paying for the interest. That's just like being upside down or underwater on your car. You know, Facts. It's the same exact thing. So you just gotta be not patient. You just gotta have the knowledge and the education, you know, and know what you're getting into. You gotta have the awareness about what it is, because you can't just hop into the credit card game. It's gonna get you. You're gonna get trapped. That's why you gotta have the awareness first. You gotta understand how much you spend first. Don't just get a card just because it's, I got the Amex Gold, Amex Platinum, just because it sound good. Right? We fall into that's a status thing too. We fall into that too all the time. Man. Right? What kind of credit card you got? Yeah. How big is your credit card limit?
But that
don't matter.
That's probably our that's one of the biggest problems I think with us. And I'm including obviously myself in us, is that status. What is it about that status?
It's the biggest motivating factor for our culture.
And it's like,
it's the biggest motivating factor.
It's like if this sweater had Balenciaga on the tag, even if it wasn't
just a tag.
This let me see. This $40 sweater is now $480.
$480, easy.
Just off of nothing changing with it, same material, just putting it. Check out my man, my episode with my man On Deck, where he talked about it. It's like if he finds the merch that those companies use and puts his logo on it, because it doesn't matter. The material is the same. It's just the status that comes with it. Because even though he puts his on there, Balenciaga's is going to go because they want that to be known that I'm wearing that. But it's the same material.
It just costs more.
Yeah, we just paying more. A ton more that we
paying more for saved. For a name.
Could have been saved or invested. And we just paid for it.
That don't care about you. That don't know you. That don't, you know.
It's crazy. Shout out to Balenciaga.
Yeah.
Again,
I would.
From the business side of it, okay, salute. But on our side of it, why?
They do a great job marketing. They do a great job, again, with the influencers.
Facts.
Influencers. Yeah, you see the influencers wearing it, so.
And they don't pay for it.
That's the thing.
That's crazy.
They don't pay for it. They either get it free or they're paid to wear it.
To influence you. To buy it.
That's how the game works, y'all. So
that's how the game works.
Just be mindful. And that goes back to just understanding where you want to go, who you are. Facts. You gotta look at who you are. Don't be trying to show off for other people. Do for you, do for self. Right? Get good with yourself and know what you want so that you can't be easily influenced. Right? Unless it does make sense logically. Because a lot of us, we get influenced emotionally into things that don't align with our values. And so that's really what's killing us. We get so emotionally tied to these things or to what somebody else is doing or to the status of having this and that we lose ourselves. We can't be doing that. We can't be losing ourselves in the process. You lose money that way. You lose your soul that way. So that's the real selling your soul.
A lot of times when you feel defeated, it's hard to do anything.
Right.
But when you're encouraged, you can almost do anything. Already successful, right? That the merch is ready. It's shopalreadysuccessful.com. But the reason that it's important is not for anything other than the fact to get you to understand that you truly already are successful. It's a statement. It's a affirmation.
Affirmation, absolutely.
My man Vince helped me realize that. He was like, yeah, it's an affirmation. It's a statement. It's an affirmation. It's the truth. It's a message to the people that sees it. They are already successful. It's a message to you, putting it on your head, putting that on your mind that you are already successful and moving like that. So you could straighten up a little bit because regardless of the money that you have or what you saved or didn't save, you've been through some stuff that the average person didn't go through, right? You have a perspective that the average person doesn't have. And if you double down on that, then you could keep stepping. You could keep climbing your ladder, right? And that's the goal with already successful, is that just you need to put it on your head and understand that it's true for you and for the person that's in front of you. So grab your merch. We got different flavors. Vince, you show I circulated that video and that sold out. So that might be kudos to you.
Soon as I seen it, I'm like, yo, I gotta have it. But I hit him up. I'm like, as soon as I seen it on the story, I hit him up quick because I knew. I'm like, yeah, that's gonna sell out.
So the corduroys are out, but we getting some more. But we got plenty of other. Yeah, I mean, we got a lot of other ones, from the bucket hats to the denims, different colors. So check that out. But more importantly, even if you don't grab a hat, is just to understand that you truly are already successful. And you just got to double down and believe it, not just because we saying it and it sounds cool, but you really are. The definition, remind yourself of the definition and look the definition up if you don't believe me. But it's achieving a purpose, aim, or a goal. That's the first definition. The second is achieving profit, distinction, and fame, right? That's what society schools us to believe.
Secondary. That's why it's the second definition.
Facts. But if you're accomplishing an aim, purpose, or goal, you're achieving, you're already successful.
Exactly.
It doesn't matter. It doesn't have anything to do about money or with money. So just remember that, straighten up, and then let's step forward, right?
Facts.
When you're overwhelmed, it's tough. Matter of fact, my rule of thumb and what I suggest, right, is small tasks, small stuff, get them out the way quick. If it's quick and easy, a lot of times it is. What we do is like, it's quick and easy, I'll do it later. But if those things accumulate, then you can feel overwhelmed. Even worse, if a big task comes while you have a lot of little ones, it'll overtake you. Move quick at the stuff that's easy to do right now. And the quick thing that you could do right now, you don't have to line up what's the next best steps and what do I do with the budget and how do I money manage and all of it. Just sign up with my man's course. He got some online courses and material too if you can't make it to the DMV.
Right.
But you get a playbook of those things to combat a lot of those, like what do I do here and how do I find this out? He can put it all together for you in a way that'll help you take a huge big step. And in that huge big step is where you'll really start to feel some progress and tracking progress.
For sure. Can I add something to the already successful?
Let's go.
Since I'm rocking it anyway, right? So I might as well influence y'all to do something positive. but nah, man, that's I love that message because that's one of the things that I teach inside my course, my coaching program. This is part of the mindset portion of what I do. I believe everything starts with the mind. So this is part 3 of that. Actually, this is where I call like grace theory. So it's really just, and y'all getting this right. This is something that I don't share. Right, this is something specifically exclusive for the members of my coaching program. But it's important for y'all to notice because Rose said it, but it's just you knowing that you already successful and knowing that you already have grace, God's grace, right, over your life. Anything that you've overcome, you've already overcome it. That's something successful. If you are in a situation right now where you've overcome something in your past, you already successful, right? If you are no longer where you used to be, you already successful.
Facts.
No matter what that looks like. If you got out of a situation that was bad, you already successful. So it's just knowing and understanding that grace that you have already in place that God got over your life, and knowing that, hey, now that I'm aware of this, now that I'm aware of this grace, I can overcome anything. Imagine if I had a plan. Imagine if I had the awareness. Imagine if I had the clarity. Imagine if I had a system in place.
Yeah,
I can conquer anything, right? That's why that's why I say in the Bible, nothing is impossible with God, right?
facts.
So, and Pete, he said nothing is impossible. Like he could have said everything is possible, but he said nothing is impossible because the first thing we think about is what? The negative, right? Mm-hmm. So God know how we think. He said those words for a reason. That's one of the verses that I think about all the time, or I kind of pay attention to that whenever I'm reading like the words. But he says specifically impossible, which I think is like, that just caught my eye when I read it. But yeah, y'all already successful. God's grace is over your life. You just got to know it.
Man, I appreciate that for real, man. Because I've been saying already successful. I mean, that literally just hit me. I've been saying already successful as pertaining to the definition. And by definition, you are. But God, you can.
Yeah. You got God's grace. You already,
even what you
automatically
lack, no matter what it is that you lack, and forget you, because I mean, the core message I was doubling down on has to do all about us. But God, if you are already successful, and if you are achieving and accomplishing aim and goal, and you got God, there's nothing that you can't do. So you already are successful. And you will continue to be successful no matter what with that. So I really appreciate that ad. I'm going to definitely loop that in there too. Because it's 100% true. And yeah, I appreciate you.
Yeah, sometimes it just takes that realization. And I realized that like when I first got started, it was like anybody, it's a struggle. You know what I mean? So it's just realizing, you know what, God done got me through a lot. I done been through a lot. I done had some trials and tribulations, but I'm not where I used to be. And it ain't because of me. It ain't because of nothing I did. It's because of God, So when you realize that, when you got God on your side, you can't fail. You can't.
Facts.
You won't fail at all. Everything will just be a learning experience. Everything will just add and stack onto each other. You continue to build off of what's already there. Nothing is for you to fall back. Nothing is lack when you have that belief. Nothing is. You always gain. You always do.
That's facts, man. That's deep, man. I think about like when I was growing up, I used to think about how God. You thinking about animals like insects down to like ants and butterflies, like basic stuff, and then the sun, the moon, stars, all that. Like when you think about how nature itself just operates, it gives you a deeper understanding. Like God, like why fish have scales, like just random stuff. I know it's kind of random, but like though when you think about how all of that stuff matters and how it benefits these creatures and how the creatures benefit the environment and then the whole ecosystem and all that stuff, it's no evolution. You know what I'm saying? Like there's no way. This is God crafting this stuff.
It's a creation, man.
But then when you think about that level of depth and then understand that that's God, and then that's who we have, and if He could do that stuff and is intentional with that stuff, and He's backing us, then there's nothing we can't do. So I think sometimes, like, I mean, you know, at least for me, growing up, you always hear about that stuff, but I would always like think about. And I'm always fascinated by nature.
Yeah, me too. I think about that stuff all the time.
All the time.
All the time, bro. That's one of my. Whenever I'm watching TV, you'll catch me watching Animal Planet.
Yeah, same. And Discovery, all of that
Discovery
stuff.
Channel, Animal Planet. That's what you'll catch me watching. Anything nature. Yeah, I don't really watch none of that other stuff, but
yeah, that's me too. Because then you think about that, and it's like, man, because then I think sometimes people don't have a healthy sense of God. Like one, you know, nowadays people say God and mean all kinds of different stuff.
True.
You don't even know who or what we talking about. But then on top of that, it's not even said as much now. It's like God is like, you hear a lot of universe.
Yeah.
And it's like, I don't know when that came up, but now everybody's saying like the universe.
Yeah.
And it's like God of the universe. You know what I'm saying? Like the universe ain't create itself. There's a God so we giving the universe all these, or the universe gonna send me this. It's like, what about the person that created the universe? But then if you understand the universe, you know, which God did create, and then go down all the way to the ant, the fish, the dynamic, the you know, on my first episode I used the caterpillar going into the cocoon and coming out of the butterfly. Like, you think about the detail, and it gives you a sobering effect of who God is.
Yeah.
And then when you think about who God is and how all of that stuff was created, and then that He's on our side, and if that's what you believe, then to your point, it drives that point home. Not just to say it in something that sounds good like a soundbite, but it's like, yo, if God is for you, then what could be against
nothing?
All of that, you know what I'm saying? And I mean, that's deep.
But it's something that you got to practice though. Like it's not just going.
It's not going to happen.
Not just going to happen. You know, it's something you got to practice every day.
Relationship.
And, you know, you got to definitely build that relationship. So that's something that I've been trying to do more of, or I've been doing more of, just being more intentional, like you said, with managing every aspect of my life better, right?
Yeah.
We talking about money a lot, but you gotta be able to manage your time. You gotta be able to manage your relationships, who you talk to. You gotta be able to manage all of that. So everything takes practice.
Facts.
Everything. So I know for me, it's God, gratitude, and grace every morning. You know, I try to do those three things soon as I get up. Some shape, way, form, or fashion. You know, I just gotta practice that every day, and that brings me closer. So you gotta practice it. You know, I challenge y'all, whoever's watching, whoever's listening, challenge yourself to, you know, manage other things in your life too. I know like I said, we talking about money, but you gotta manage. You gotta manage a lot, and it just takes practice. It don't gotta be too much either.
Yeah,
you know, you could be, I don't know, a verse a day, a chapter a day, if you wanted to. Like, and I'm talking about God, because That's what I do. But
Yeah.
that could be anything, any relationship that you have with somebody, you know, having a conversation with them a day, you know, learning something new about them a day.
Yeah.
Whatever it is, you know, playing with your kids an hour a day, like something, like just build that. You got to practice it because it grounds you. You got to have that grounding every day to bring you back to earth, to help you understand, like, yeah, okay, I'm good. Things is not as bad as they seem.
Yeah.
Ain't nothing as horrible as it may seem. I can get over this.
One of the benefits, right, that you can do that I've found for myself is that you hear people talking about, oh, you sleep when you're dead, or no sleep, you know, just grind. But you're not your best self. I think Steve Harvey is one of the advocates for like no sleep. But there's a lot of studies that prove that to be detrimental more than beneficial. Because if you don't get enough sleep, you're not the best version of yourself. You're highly irritable. You don't present the best. And even if you get in a room, you might be the worst version of yourself and mess it up just because you weren't asleep. So one thing that I've been trying to do better on and getting back to is prioritizing sleep first. Because for me, I can stay up for a month straight.
It's a fact.
Still not be finished or caught up or doing everything that I want to do. But if I go to sleep 10,
that's good,
11 o'clock and get up 5, you hear E.T., shout out to E.T. all the time. He's like, he get up 3 a.m. It's not to say I got up early on y'all and y'all still sleep. But it's really, if you get your sleep first and you start your day at 4, 5, 6 a.m., you are so motivated. You already got your rest in, and you start tackling tasks at a rapid rate.
Yeah.
That by the time 8 o'clock, 10 o'clock hits, you done already accomplished a whole lot. And in that momentum, you can knock out a huge task.
Yeah.
Whereas if you don't prioritize the sleep, then you might wake up 10, 11, 12, noon. The day's already gone and you already feel behind, even more behind. And then you can't do anything solid. So starting your day with meditation, motivation, reflection, and then ending your day with reflection is a key too, to know that I had all of these lined up and I accomplished these things. So you go to sleep feeling motivated, can't wait to wake up again.
Exactly.
To continue that cycle.
Yeah, that's good. That's good for sure. I definitely need to work on sleep, y'all.
Yeah, I'm talking to myself too.
Yo, I definitely need to work on sleep.
I mean, what time is it right now?
Look, this is normal for me. Like whatever time it is, like this is normal for me. Because you just want to get so much done. We have so much ambition. We have so much drive. It's things that we want to accomplish family wise, and especially for you. But it's like it's so much that you want to get done. So it's like you want to do as much as you can, and then that going to bed late kind of messes that up because you don't never really truly be able to fulfill or do everything or be your best self to get everything done like you want to. So it's a struggle, man. It's something that I think a lot of men deal with, honestly, for real, especially those that are driven, that's ambitious, that want to provide, be that man for their family. So it's definitely something that we gotta work. I know I need to work on it for sure.
My grandfather used to say, early to bed, early to rise, makes a man healthy, wealthy, and wise. That used to be his mantra all the time.
I need to say that one more time.
Early to bed and early to rise makes a man healthy, wealthy, and wise. And truly, I just heard a podcast off of, I forget what it was on, TED Talk, about sleep. It's crazy. It's like 15 minutes, but it's crazy.
What is it? What's it called?
The importance of sleep or something like that.
Okay, I'll look it up. I'll probably be able to find it.
But he talks about how like humans, like Mother Nature hasn't found a way to counter sleep deprivation because no other species does it. They sleep, but we want to and then lack of sleep is linked to like the number one causes of diseases and all of that stuff. So case in point to like the goals, what are our final goals? Like we want to enjoy what we're working on. But a lot of times, like the lack of sleep is a direct counter to that, and a direct negative to that. But sleep is one, again, something that society is pushing on us, that you're always behind. But that's where going back to the who we're following, who we're around is important, is critical, because they have influence over what we see, over what we feel, how we feel. And like us, when that switch is flipped and you just have that drive, it's hard to turn it off. That's probably the main struggle that I have, is that I can look at a thing and I know how to make it better. I know how to monetize it.
Yeah, you speaking my language now.
I know how to, and I feel like I could do that, and I can do that, and I can do that. But those four things, and I keep talking about my wife. She keeps telling me like, "Oh, you always simplify things," which is a good quality. But then it could be a fault.
You sound like me, man. I'm telling you.
Because like all I got to do is, but no, there's a lot actually that comes with that one thing. And then when you get involved in it, the type of person I am is that I want it to be the best possible. So, and then I feel like I feel defeated if I'm doing a good thing, but it's not like to the degree
that I want it. That I feel like it'll be mastered at. Yeah, I feel you.
And now this thing that's supposed to be beneficial is like adding weight. Mm-hmm. That's the podcast. That's why you guys have. I was doing monthly episodes, mm-hmm. and now it's like, I switched it up. So I took that pressure off myself because of all of the other stuff that's going on in the background. A lot of good stuff, like the merch, like the event space. Forget nothing else. Just remember that you are already successful where you currently are. Mm-hmm. Not about where you're aspiring to go or what they're doing or not doing, and they showing it to you. You're already successful if you stop there and really look where you are and believe that. Then you can do whatever else and have God, and we are believers, right? So we're saying God a lot, but if with where you are, what you've already made it through, and with God, anything is possible. You can keep going. You can
Everything is possible, y'all. You're already successful.
Get your tickets.
Yeah, get your tickets.
When they post up, follow, what's your page?
Get your tickets. Hey, follow me, y'all, on all social media platforms at Money Coach Vince. At Money Coach Vince. You'll be able to find me on all platforms. That's Instagram, TikTok, YouTube. You'll be able to find me. If you want tickets, so right now, we next event is in Nashville. I don't know when this is going to air, but next event is in Nashville. Make sure you go to IamYourMoneyCoach.com/Nashville for tickets. We'll soon be having DC tickets available, so be on the lookout for that, and so that y'all can get y'all tickets. But look, I always want to help anytime I get on any platform. Appreciate you for having me on the podcast too, by the way. But anytime I'm on any platform, I always want to give you something or offer you guys something that will help you in some way, because I'm really big on that anytime I hop on a platform, my platform, anybody's. But if you need help like right now, like, because I understand that some of you aren't able to come to the workshop, some of you aren't able to get into my programs right now. If you need help right now, I always think about those starting right where they are. Mm-hmm. Right, I try to meet everybody right where they are. Head to my website, www.IamYourMoneyCoach.com. I have a blueprint. It's about financial freedom. It's going to show you how to position yourself and put yourself in position to achieve financial freedom. You follow those 7 steps, the 7 steps that you'll learn over the next 7 days that I send to you, that will really position you for greatness if you follow those 7 steps. So head to that website, www.IamYourMoneyCoach.com, so that you can get that and tap in with me. I want to help you get the help that you need, build up, stack up, put yourself in position. Then if you need more coaching and guidance, you know where to find me.
Appreciate you, bro.
Yes, sir. Appreciate you. Great conversation.
Yeah, man. Again, it started out like, yo, you want to get on the show? You say, yeah. We did the first episode virtually.
You are like I was telling you, I enjoy seeing people that's really doing it. You know, some people, hey, I want to get you to do it, but they don't have no content. They're not putting nothing up. They don't have no effort. They're not showing me anything. So it's like, what am I showing up to? So, like I said, when I seen yours, I'm like, yeah, I gotta show my man some love. You know, he my people.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? And he's doing it, right? He got episodes already. He showed me an episode. He doing it the right way. He gave me a professional email, all that type of stuff. So that's all the stuff that I look for. If you want me on your podcast, you better come correct. You better have some content. You better be doing something about yourself, because, you know, I want to see that you are actually putting, you know, work in, you know, and, you know, I'm big on helping people. I'm big on, you know, just giving back, because we all start somewhere. We all start at some place or another, right? Some of us start off better. Some of us start off not so well. So I always want to give back in any way, any shape, form, or fashion, no matter where you are, as long as you are putting in the work, because I see it, you know. I started that same way. And if I had more people helping me, you know, you know, that would have been helpful, you know, at that time. So I always think about that.
Well, yeah, man, I appreciate it. And to y'all watching, you know, you put the work in. You might hit up Vince. You might hit somebody up like Vince, and they respond. But if they don't, because I didn't think you would. I mean, some people that I hit up, I'm just tapping them
shooting the shot. Yeah.
If you don't put in the work and you don't land somebody there, put in the work for yourself.
Exactly.
Because if you put the work in for yourself, you're gonna be better off, regardless of who might join or who might not join. You'll benefit from it right away. So put the work in, time management. Put the work in, money management. Put the work in general. If you believe it, if you feel good about it, and you keep putting one foot in front of the other, you're achieving. And by definition, you're already successful. Thanks for watching. Like, subscribe, share, all of that fancy stuff they say. Appreciate you again coming through, bro.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Peace.